Okay. Good morning, all of you. Can you hear me?
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning. Okay. How are you all? Jyotish, how are you?
Fine, miss.
Little louder.
Fine.
Okay. Okay, then now we will take the attendance. Afla, Ajmina, Amaya,
Present, Miss.
Atulya,
Present, Miss.
Drishya, Jyotish,
Present, miss.
Karthik,
Present, miss.
Kavya,
Present, Miss.
Nachiket,
Present, Miss.
Neeraj, Rangit,
Present, miss.
Vaishna,
Miss.
Vaishnav, Anjali,
Present, Miss.
and Shruti.
Present, Miss.
Afla is there?
Yes, Miss.
Ajmina, okay. So I hope you all had a good time. Now we will come back to our syllabus, computer communication. And the last class we were discussing about module 1. Now today we will be learning about module 2. So can anybody summarize what we have learned in module 1? Rangit. Rangit. Yeah, Jyotish, please mute your phone. And Rangit, answer me. What you have studied in the first module?
TCP, IP, and OSI.
Louder, louder.
TCP, IP, and OSI model.
Then TCP, IP, OSI, only that you studied in first module.
That's correct.
Rangit? Only two things you have studied?
Effectiveness of data communication.
Simply don't read from your notebook. Just recollect the things, what you have learned and tell. You are dealing with the basics of networks. You have seen how networks are categorized, and you have also seen what are the physical structures of network and the topologies of network and the different types of transmission modes like serial, parallel, asynchronous, synchronous, simplex, half duplex, then full duplex, etc. That were the basic concepts about a network. Then after that, you have studied about the network model. The main important network models are the OSI model, the other one is the TCP/IP model. Now TCP/IP model, Rangit can mute now. The TCP/IP model is called the internet model. Okay, and you have seen how many layers has got. I mean, OSI layers has got how many layers? Atulya P. Atulya. How many layers an OSI model has? She's not there. Then Shruti, answer me.
7 layers.
Wait, what are they?
Application,
Yeah.
presentation, section, transport,
It is not
network,
section, it is
data
session.
link,
Session layer,
session,
then
data link, and physical.
and physical layer. Okay. Now, Anjali Vaishna, how many layers you have got in TCP/IP? Now, what is the difference between the OSI model and the TCP model? Anjali. See, if you're not answering, I'll be marking absent here. So just keeping your phone and just going away means it is not a good habit. Okay, Vaishna K. Anjali. Vaishna K, answer me. Vaishna. And okay, Ameya, you just tell what is the difference between the OSI model and the TCP model? Ameya?
Yes, Miss.
Yeah, tell.
5 layers. I think.
Yeah, 5 layers. What is the difference? Which are the layers that a TCP model has?
Physical layer,
Okay.
data link,
Okay.
network, transmission, and application.
Transmission,
Transport
layer, and the application layer. I have corrected, all of you listen here, I have corrected few of your assignments. The main thing what you have to remember is this is a full theory paper. So maximum figure representation you have to put it in your paper. Majority have not drawn the OSI different layers like that structure and all. You have not drawn. You have just explained it what is there. But when we are correcting the paper, we will there is a specific marks for the figure representation. So if you know the figure, just kindly represent that also in your answer sheet or in your assignments. So don't forget that. And tomorrow onwards, I'll be keeping one test, and I hope you all have received that mail from Linways. Tomorrow, 4 students should come at 2:30 exactly, 2:25. You have to come at on time, and I'll be giving 2 questions out of the 6 questions what I have forwarded to you, and you should write in a manner such that you're writing for the university examination. Don't bluff the things and all, and few are just copying the contents from the slides that frame a sentence and then write the answer for that. Okay, so study nicely and then attempt it. Okay, so we were dealing with, we will start with the next module, and we were dealing with the OSI model as well as the TCP model in the first module. Now today we will be learning with the layer 1 and 2 of the internet model. Now OSI model is almost obsolete, and we are going with the internet model or the TCP/IP model. Now in that, the first layer is called it as the physical layer. Physical layer is the bottommost layer. I hope you can see the slides also. So physical layer is called it as the bottommost layer, and that is the layer 1 of the internet model. Now actually that physical layer is interacting with the transmission medium. No other layer is interacting with the transmission medium, but it is the physical layer that actually interacts with the transmission media. In this module, you have to study the 2 layers. One is the physical layer and the other one is the data link layer. And in the physical layer, the main thing is the transmission media, and you are going to study in detail about the transmission media. Okay, so I told physical layer is the bottommost layer, and it is the layer that interacts with the transmission media. Now, what is a transmission media? So it is nothing but it is the physical part of the network. If you have network components, and if everything want to be connected, and that can be connected with the help of the transmission media. So it is the physical part of the network that connects network components together. So you are carrying the information from one node to the another node in a network, and the physical layer is responsible for that. Okay, so physical layer is involved in carrying information from one node to the another node in a network. Now you have already studied what are the duties or the responsibilities of the physical layer. The main important task that the physical layer has to perform is it has to provide service to the data link layer. I have already told when we were dealing with all these 7 layers, the specific duty of each layer is to provide service to the layer that is above it. So physical layer, as far as physical layer is considered, it has to provide services to the topmost layer of the physical, which is that layer, data link layer. So it has to provide services to the data link layer. Now, in the first module, you have learned how data is represented in a data link layer. What is the data unit called? Can anybody answer? What is the data unit in data link layer called?
Frame.
Frame. Yeah, good. So data in the data link layer, you can call it as a frame, and that is nothing but it is a sequence of zeros and ones. Okay, and that sequence of bits should be sent through the medium. Understanding? I'm telling the physical layer has to provide service to the data link layer, and data link layer we call the data unit as a frame. Now, what is actually a frame? It is nothing but a sequence of zeros and ones. And that sequence of zeros and ones should be sent through the transmission medium. So in order to transmit it through the medium, you have to convert it into a suitable form. That means you have to convert this into another entity. You have to convert into another entity called signals. And that is the service provided by the physical layer. So what is its function is, it has to create a signal that represents the stream of bits. That is the duty of the physical layer. So whatever data is coming from the data link layer, you can call it as frame, and that should be converted to a suitable form for the transmission. Now that function is performed by the physical layer. So physical layer creates a signal that represents this stream of bits. Okay, now the other important thing is, other function of the physical layer is, it has to take care of the physical network. Physical network here, means that the transmission media. So the physical layer must take care of the physical network, which is nothing but the transmission media. That is, the medium must be controlled by the physical layer. So that is the second function. One is, it has to provide service to the data link layer. That is, whatever data is coming from the data link layer, it has to convert to a suitable form for the transmission. And also these bits are passing through the medium. So this medium is controlled by the physical layer. And also it decides the direction of data flow. What are the transmission modes available? How the data has to flow from one node to the another. Understanding? I have told 3. Hello? You can hear me?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Here the mouse got stuck. Okay. So what I need to tell is the responsibilities of the physical layer. The main thing is, provide service to the data link layer, take care of the physical network or nothing but the transmission medium, and it also decides the direction of data flow. Now, what is the transmission basic? This already you have studied in your module 1. I have told the different categories or the different transmission modes. In that, the main one are the simplex, half duplex, and full duplex. Now, Neeraj, what is a simplex transmission? Neeraj?
Yes, miss.
Yeah, tell me, what do you mean by simplex transmission? എന്താ എല്ലാവരും മറന്നു പോയോ? 10 ദിവസമായോ ബുക്ക് എടുത്തിട്ട്? What do you mean by simplex transmission? Fast.
One of the device.
One of the louder.
Oh,
One of the only one device can transmit. If two stations are there, only one can transmit, the other can only receive. So it is a unidirectional form of transmission. Now, what do you mean by half duplex transmission? What is half duplex transmission? Remember that figure, what you have learned. Half duplex means you have two stations, both can transmit and receive, but not at the same time. Right? Neeraj, understanding? Okay. So half duplex is you can have both the stations can transmit and receive, but not at the same time. Okay. And the third type of transmission is the full duplex, or you can simply call it as duplex mode of transmission. Now, duplex mode, you will have two stations, and out of the two stations, both can transmit in the simultaneously. Both at the same time, they can transmit the data. Okay, so this was the transmission basics, what you have learned in the first module: simplex, half duplex, and full duplex. Right? Now, in this module, you will be learning about the types of transmission medium. That is nothing but mainly it has got two categories. One is called the guided medium, and another one is called the unguided medium. Transmission media, generally, it is categorized into two. One is the guided medium, where the medium is very, very important, right? And unguided means you don't have any specific, it is not guiding the thing, it is just only transmitting, okay? Now, as we all know, where the transmission media is located actually? Where it is located actually? It is located below the physical layer. And I have told the physical layer controls the transmission medium. Now, it is the path through which the message travels from one node to the other. In this diagram, you can just see you have a sender, you have a receiver, you have a medium. And it is through the medium that the message or the data travels from the sender towards the receiver. Now, when data communication is considered, or in a data communication system, how data are represented? How data are represented? Is it form of zeros and ones? You have to convert it into a suitable form. You can call it as signals, right? And these signals are transmitted from one device to another device, okay, in the form of electromagnetic energy. I have told you have got a data communication system where the data are represented into zeros and ones. You cannot transmit as it is. You have to convert to a particular form that is called it as the signals. So these signals, they get transmitted from one device to another in the form of electromagnetic energy. Now, what are the examples of this electromagnetic energy? Examples of electromagnetic energy are, and what are radio waves, infrared, visible light, ultraviolet, X-rays, gamma rays, etc. So all these are examples of this electromagnetic energy, and that forms the electromagnetic spectrum. You might have studied in your other subjects, all these specific, like microwave, you are studying about microwave frequencies, optical, you are studying about that. So these are the examples of electromagnetic energy, and your signal is in the form of electromagnetic energy. Okay, now I told the transmission media, it has been classified generally into a wired media as well as a wireless media. Wired media, you can have 3 categories, or the guided media include 3 categories. One is the twisted pair cable, the other one is the coaxial cable, and the third one is the fiber optic cable. What are the 3 different categories of a guided media? Atulya?
Miss,
Yeah, what are the 3 categories of guided media?
twisted pair cable,
Twisted
coaxial
pair,
cable,
coaxial cable,
coaxial cable,
and
fiber
fiber
optic.
optic cable.
Yeah.
Okay, and for unguided, you are making use of air as your medium. Medium is your free space or air. Now you have to study in detail about the guided medium, that is the twisted pair, coaxial cable, and the fiber optic. So guided means the waves are guided along a physical path. Now what happens? What about the transmission capacity in a guided media? So it depends on the distance. Now, and also the connections, how the devices are connected, whether it is a point-to-point connection or whether it is a multi-point connection. So transmission capacity, it depends on the distance as well as the devices, on whether the medium, how they are being connected, whether the medium is a point-to-point or a multi-point connection. Okay, so twisted pair or the coaxial cable, they make use of copper as the conductor. And what it does, they accepts and transport signals in the form of electric current. I have told guided, classified it into 3, twisted pair, coaxial, and fiber optics. Twisted pair and coaxial, they use copper conductors, and they accept and transport signals in the form of electric current. Okay, now what about the fiber optic cable? Fiber optic cable is the cable that accepts and transports signals in the form of light. Okay, so that is the one which accepts and transmits signals in the form of light. Now, why you are making use of copper? Because it is cheap and you can easily work on it. Okay, so transmission media, I have told what is transmission media. Actually, this transmission media is located below the physical layer, and they are directly controlled by the physical layer. Data communication, we use signals to represent data, and that signals are transmitted from one device to another device in the form of electromagnetic energy. Okay, now generally transmission media can be classified into 2. One is the guided media and the other one is the unguided media. I will be teaching only the guided media, but you have to refer text for the unguided media also. It is there in, I think, chapter 7 of Forozen. That is left for you as a homework. Just read it and understand, because you are studying all the things in different subjects. Okay. Now, so I told guided, twisted pair, coaxial cable, and fiber optic cable. Twisted and the coaxial, they make use of copper as conductors because it is cheap and you can easily work on it. And fiber optic cable that accepts and transports signals in the form of light. Okay, so this is just the explanation what I have just told. Now we will be dealing with the first type of guided media, that is the twisted pair cable. Now, you can see just the diagram, right? Twisted pair cable. You can have, actually what it consists of, this cable, it consists of 2 conductors. You can just see in the diagram, each with its own plastic insulation twisted together. Understanding? It has 2 conductors, each with its own plastic covering which acts as an insulator, and they are twisted together. Or in a simple names, you can tell that two insulated copper wires arranged in a spiral pattern. It looks like a DNA molecule. So you have two insulated copper wires arranged in a spiral pattern. Now, what is the necessity of arranging in a spiral pattern? Why we are doing this? Can anybody answer? What is the importance of that spiral pattern? Why we are twisting it, or why you have got a spiral pattern when you are considering a twisted pair cable? Why we are twisting or why you have a spiral pattern is to minimize the electromagnetic interference between the adjacent pairs. You want to reduce the noise effect or the electromagnetic interference. So that can be minimized if you are making use of the spiral pattern. Okay. Now, the one thing what you have to understand is when a signal is passed through a cable, actually in what form it is? It is in the form of current, right? And that flow of current, it produces electromagnetic field of interference around it. And that can generate some noise effect, or you can crosstalk can happen. Crosstalk. Have you heard about the word crosstalk? Crosstalk means the unwanted coupling between signal path. When two people are communicating through a telephone, sometimes we overhear the other person's, the third person's voice, right? So that is called as the crosstalk. So that is, it is a phenomenon by which a signal that is transmitted on one channel creates an undesirable effect in another channel. Overhearing or disturbance, that is called it as the crosstalk. So that flow of current, it produces electromagnetic field of interference or some noise effects is created. And that actually, they are the unwanted signals. So assume the two wires are parallel to each other. Now, if two wires are parallel, now what is the effect of this unwanted signal on that wire? You assume two wires are in parallel, it is not twisted at all. Now, what is the effect of that unwanted signal? Is it same in case of both the wires? Yes or no? Some noise source is kept. You have arranged the two wires in parallel. Now, what is the effect of that noise source with respect to that wire? Is it same on both the wires? Yes or no? Nachiket.
Yes, miss.
Did you answer?
No.
No. Okay. So if the two wires are parallel, the effect of this unwanted signal is not the same because they are at different location. When you are considering a noise source, the one wire will be nearer to the noise source and the other wire will be away from the noise source. So you create a difference there. Okay, so at the receiver side, you will calculate the difference and then you will be proceeding further. But what happens if you are twisting the wire? But once we twist the wire, at one twist, one wire will be closer to the noise source. The other wire will be away a little bit. But on the other twist, the other wire will be nearer to the noise source and the one wire will be away from the noise source. So that effect will cancel it. That is, balancing is maintained there. So twisting makes it possible or probable that both the wires are equally affected by the interference, external interference. So the interference cancels each other. So you are not getting unwanted signal, or it calculates the difference between the two receives. The receiver side, you don't get any unwanted signals. Okay, so that is the importance of twisting or the spiral pattern. The electromagnetic interference is minimized if you are twisting the cables. Okay, now where it is being used. Twisted pair cable, they are usually installed in building telephone wiring. For telephone wiring purpose, this cable is used. But what is the disadvantage of this twisted pair cable? It is limited in distance. It has got less bandwidth and has got less data rate. What is why? Because that is due to the attenuation, interference, and noise. Now, tomorrow when you come, you should tell me what is the difference between attenuation, what is interference, and what is noise. Altogether, everything it is same, but what is the difference between these three? Attenuation, interference, and noise. Rangeet will be the first person to answer this question: attenuation, interference, and noise. Okay. So this is about twisted pair cable. I have told guided media, the most important classification or the categorization is the twisted pair. So twisted pair, you have got two insulated copper wires connected in a spiral pattern. Now the importance of spiral pattern is to minimize the electromagnetic interference. Now they usually for telephone wiring, you are making use of this twisted pair cable, and it has got limited distance. It is limited in distance, bandwidth, and the data rate. Now, what are the two different categories of this twisted pair? You can have two different types or categories. That is, one is called as the UTP and other one is the STP. UTP means unshielded twisted pair. Unshielded twisted pair cable, and STP is nothing but shielded twisted pair cable. In that word only, that meaning is there. Unshielded means you don't have any specific shield for protection, right? So unshielded twisted pair cable and shielded twisted pair cable. Now first we will see what is this UTP, unshielded twisted pair. You can see a diagram, right? You have got a plastic cover. In that many twisted pairs are there, almost about 5 pairs are there. Actually in one cover you can have a maximum of 25 pairs can be there, okay? So UTP is nothing but it is the common twisted pair cable used in communication. It is suitable for transmitting both data and voice. Now, what is the advantage of this UTP cable is? It is advantages cost-wise, it is more advantageous. This means the cost is less. And ease of use. Ease of use means you can easily install it and also it is flexible. That is the two advantage of this unshielded twisted pair. One is it is cost-wise, it is cheap, and it is ease of use. Ease of use, two meanings. One is it is flexible and you can easily install it, right? So now you can have different standard grades of UTP. When I told about protocols and standards in module 1, I have told what is standard, and one specific standard group is EIA, that is Electronic Industries Association, and they have demonstrated or they have derived some standards to grade this UTP cables. And you have got different categories in it. And category 1 type of cable, that is UTP cable, usually that type of cable is used in telephone system. Here, the level of quality is fine for voice, but it is inadequate for data transmission. So it is not possible. I mean, it is inadequate for data transmission, but for voice transmission, that is good. Category 1 type of UTP cable. Now, the second category is both. It is suitable, that is for voice transmission as well as for the data transmission, and it supports a data rate of 2 Mbps. Now, the third category is supports a data rate of 10 Mbps, and that is the standard cable for most of the telephone systems. In majority of the telephone system, they make use of the cable that belongs to category 3. Now, category 4, it supports about 20 Mbps, and category 5, it is suitable for data transmission of up to 100 Mbps. So these are some of the standard grades of UTP. You have got different categories, and it is based upon their data rates as well as the its ability to voice transmission as well as to transmit voice as well as data. Okay. Now next is, this is the UTP connector. Now, commonly UTP connector, you can call it as RJ45. RJ45, RJ, it stands for registered jack. You have got two types, a male connector as well as a female connector. Okay, so this is the UTP connector. Right? Now the second category is called it as the shielded twisted pair cable. Shielded. What is the meaning of that? You have in the diagram you can see, you have an extra metal shield between the plastic cover and the copper conductors, right? So that metal shield, it protects, it prevents the penetration of electromagnetic noise. So when you are comparing both UTP and STP, STP will be expensive, but this STP will be less susceptible to noise. Okay, so STP cable, they have a metal foil or braided mesh covering that encases each pair of insulated conductors. And what is the importance of that metal shield is it prevents the penetration of electromagnetic noise. And STP is expensive when you are comparing with UTP, but it is less susceptible to noise. Okay, so I have told the main category of guided media. One is the twisted pair cable. You can have two types again. One is UTP and other one is STP. Right? And these are the, now this is just a comparison what you can see in the slides, that is unshielded twisted pair. You are making use in ordinary telephone wires and it is cheap. You can easily install it, but it suffers from external electromagnetic interference. But shielded twisted pair, you have got a metal braid or a metal shield that reduces interference. Comparing with UTP, it is more expensive and it is very thick and heavy to handle. Understanding what is the difference between a UTP and an STP cable. Now this is the diagram that shows the UTP and STP, how it differentiates. When you are comparing, when you are seeing both the figures, a metal shield is there in the STP cable. Okay, now what is the transmission characteristics in a twisted pair cable? When you are comparing, when you are considering the twisted pair, if you are making use of analog transmission, you have to make use of an amplifier for every 5 to 6 kilometers. But if you are using digital transmission, instead of amplifiers, you make use of repeaters. Now I have told it is limited in distance, it is limited in bandwidth, and it is limited in data rate. It is susceptible to interference and noise. Interference and noise can happen in twisted pairs. Okay. Now, what are the pros and cons of twisted pair? Pros are cheap, easy to work with, but cons, low data rate and short range. There's advantages, disadvantages. That is the meaning of pros and cons. Now, where it is being used, where actually the twisted pair cable in telephone network, within the buildings, or for the local area networks. So, between house and local exchange, to private branch exchanges, or for local area network, you are making use of this twisted pair cable. So I am summarizing. You have learned about the physical layer function. What is the responsibility of the physical layer? Who will be answering? Vaishnav VM. Vaishnav. Tell, what are the responsibilities of physical layer? I have told 3 important responsibilities of physical layer. What are they? What is the first responsibility? Next 5th hour I'll be coming. Before that, you just recollect the things and split. Okay. Drishya is there.
Hello.
Drishya.
Yes, miss.
You should be on time to the class. Okay.
Okay.
Ajmina.
Yes, miss.
You also. You have come late. When I took the attendance, you were late. So, Drishya. Neeraj. Yes. So, 5th hour I'll be coming. So that time, Vaishnav VM, you have to tell what are the responsibilities of physical layer and you have to summarize what we have learned in the morning class. Okay, thank you.